All right, yeah. I mean, screw it. It's Roxanne. It doesn't require much effort to build the deck, so I've never played it in standard. I don't know how, but I've just never played it in standard. You just play it. You make a meteorite token, which comes with a shock, and then when it attacks, you make another one, and then the token's tap for mana. And what is she? He also does something else, right? Yeah, yeah. The meteorites tap for 2 mana if she's alive. So I mean, if you untap with a Roxanne, it is not good for your opponent. Like it is a real. It's kind of like, well, it's more than what Loot's doing when you untap with Loot. Loot might just end up lightning bolting after, but this is just a huge problem if you untap with it. Giving it haste is absolutely insane. So all the haste enablers. There are some creatures that give haste as well, and I think because the creatures don't require mana to activate to like target this, there's two of them that could target this and give it haste. I kind of like them a bit more than these because these cost 1 to equip, which means if you play this on curve, you won't have the 1 mana, and then you don't have haste. So I don't really like these at all. I think these are in people's decks just because they say they give haste to something and it's a recurring haste enabler. But if you have 5 mana, it's not going to help you. And it also gets in the way if you were ramping into this, right? You can't play this turn 2 if you want to play this turn a turn faster and you had a, Ironcrag in your hand, you want to cast that to ramp. So even casting it before you would play this, one of the turns before you play these, I don't really like these, but I'm going to give them a shot because they are in every single Roxanne deck and people do not think about it whatsoever. That's my take on these. And every time I see them, they don't really change anything for what Roxanne is trying to do other than obviously hexproof. That's just good. But this is not Lightning Greaves. So, I don't know. But 5 into 7 is nuts, and I probably could play even more expensive top-end things, but you could also just continuously cast Roxanne, because Roxanne effectively pays for itself, just like Golos does. So, needs not a big introduction, and didn't take long to put together, but we'll see what ends up changing in this as we play. I don't know. I already have a deck with LOL. Oh, of course I do. There. Not a single spell was cast that mattered. They answered every single card. Well, they obviously have more removal here, so... Do I play these? What do I do next turn? Could just play Doubling Season. Yeah? Okay, maybe not. Maybe we do that now instead. Wait, what? Huh. That's quite surprising. Okay, well, unless it's bitter. This is, yep. I was going to say, unless it's specifically a bitter triumph, you're just going to get schmeeded here. This is the most Roxanne hand of all time. No, if this was Lanor Elves, like 1, 3, 5, then it would be, but it's not quite that. Hey, it's Norn. Neat. Hello. What does this actually do? Okay. So, 2 of these? That feels like the most annoying thing to do, so I'll do that. Roxanne's the enemy? According to who? I feel like Ketchermos is the enemy. I wonder if they were expecting me to block. That's kind of funny. I feel like they weren't expecting me to block. So they have some kind of protection spell, right? No? No, we don't. We're just gaming? Alright. Opponent's just gaming. Bum 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 bum. Look, I play. Actually, you know what? I think on average, I think a lot of the decks I play have a pretty. Yeah, no, I usually go positive with win rates. I think so. Could be wrong. Is this Splash Portal? Oh, it's unable to screw. It's like, what is going on? So, swing that, there, that. Green, green, green. Can play Roxanne. I mean, well, technically, I guess this is another Roxanne. Druid. And swing with both my creatures? Yeah, that's fine. They can't really block them, so... Alright. Again, Swiftfoot Boots just looking kind of dumb the whole time. I guess if I untap with my commander... But yeah, now the game's just over. There's nothing. No, I'm not copying the meteorites. I guess I could. Take out Swiftfoot Boots for them, at least. Oh, you're streaking? What are we up against? Oh, it's Roxanne. Oh, yeah, I wasn't even paying attention. We're playing against Roxanne, okay. Mirror match? I don't know. How does it pan out? Oh, Tat lands. Feels bad. How does this pan out? So, double creature, both, one of them does die to Roxanne. But I should probably still just play 2 creatures. Instead of just playing this. So. Let's see, is it Haste Enabler on 3? I am currently exceedingly far ahead. It is not a Haste Enabler. It is actually something that immediately dies. So let's see what that's about. Let's see what that's about. Apparently nothing. Alright, looks like we're just winning. Oh, I missed the damage. Oh, I missed the damage, I'm sorry. I missed the damage. They also killed the one that could die to Roxanne itself, which is a little strange. I don't have any interest in letting that sit there, so let's kill that. And then play you. And they can't kill my Overlord with Roxanne, so... Overlord kind of just kills them if they swing with Roxanne, and they're probably going to swing with Roxanne, because that's what their deck does. I think we just outgreened our opponent here, but they can play Roxanne, kill mine. I swing, I kill theirs, I recast mine. Yeah, I think we're ahead here. Yep, they do it anyways. Can they afford to swing? They take 9, 10 damage. Okay, that doesn't work. So they just want to trade? They want to force the trade? Okay. Well, did they anticipate me just not blocking? Was that the idea? Just not... Because now you're just dead. If I was full of, like, shatter effects, this matchup feels great. But I'm not, so it doesn't feel great. But it only does one thing. And that thing is meh. It's not bad in standard, but it's... it does one thing. It does the same thing we do, except it has to wait till 7 now. I wonder if playing this is right next turn? I don't know. Does anything matter? They just exile it anyways. Okay, well that makes my decision extremely easy, so I'll take that. Let's play you always here. Play more threats. Just more creatures. Wait, let's do it like this. That way I can swing the Lantern Rolls. Alright, what do they do this turn? It is exactly lethal. What do they do this turn? They rope? Yeah. Yeah, okay. You can do that. That is true. I don't think there's a single colorless card that does anything. Yep, we just... Let's play this. It says, oops. Oh, oops, hello. Alright. Well, that's a really good card here. That's probably one of the worst possible things to see. Oh, come on. Why did you play that? This is so toxic. Okay, well, far and away one of the best cards they could have had on turn 2 there. Authority also stops Roxanne with haste, but I don't think that's too big of a deal. It's more of just this winning on its own. Effectively getting soloed by this. Entirely on its own. That was a very good counter draw, right? Yeah, can I cast it for 6 too? That was an excellent response. Okay. That was amazing. Basically, something I almost just straight up needed to have. Go to the command zone, please. Okay, good. No attack. Alright, one good draw deserves another. Now they have to deal with Overlord. In the same capacity in which they would probably have to deal with Roxanne. What does that do? Okay. Well, yeah, you have to take the Overlord. There's no way you don't take the Overlord. The Annabelle attack is free. No, you don't swing the 1/1. Okay. Block that. So we play Roxanne. Because that would make sense to me. Why doesn't it tap the herd? Why does it not tap this card? I'm going to take this card out, I swear. So annoying. Okay, let's... Fortunately, I'm not blown out by that. Because the Weaver untaps itself. This Weaver is great. This is amazing. Alright, this is probably them conceding. Because this is insane. Yep. They didn't even wait. They didn't even wait to see the card hit the stack and they gave up. Like, what if I had a... I don't know, anything else? Like, at least see the card. I mean, dang. They conceded so fast. Like a Soul Warden that can't die. Can't easily die. Wow, they didn't have Llanowar Elves. A Glarb opponent with no Llanowar Elves. What happened there? Oh no. We'll play the World Wagon instead of Outcast. This draws, but this can potentially swing. So that feels just better. I also gotta start playing my land first, so I stop tapping my Mana Dork. And it could just swing. Did I? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna make my opponent's turn just miserable. Yeah, that's fine. That is totally fine. There's obviously had other plans for that card. Now this turn with Cavern feels better because yeah, especially if they don't play Glarb again. Cavern here is could just be lights out. Wow, really? That's nuts. All right, well they had ideas and they said screw those ideas, we're doing this instead. So if that's the case, let's play Overlord instead. Let's do green. Yeah, we play Overlord instead. Oh, opponent. Oh, yeah. I mean, they had a counterspell, and then they, for some reason, felt obligated to counter anything. Okay, I shouldn't say for some reason. You don't want to just pass and then not spend your mana, because you basically missed an entire turn. You didn't cast anything on your turn, which could have maybe been this. And then if I just didn't play this, my opponent effectively did nothing for a turn cycle, and that would feel really bad. So they like have to counter anything. And I guess this turn cycle there was no additional counter spell. So you might have had to just bite the bullet and let this resolve. It is just a mana dork, right? This is crew 4. Yeah, so it doesn't actually let me crew anyways. It might just want to have to accept that this has to resolve. I mean, Cavernous Souls, Roxanne was another out. There was black mana in there, though. I want these cards in play. One game, please. Have we given Roxanne haste yet? Has it even happened? I feel like it actually hasn't happened yet. I can't remember. Or I should say, have I given it haste in which it would have mattered? Like haste on a lethal turn, it obviously doesn't matter. So let's play this. You know, I could have just named Dog with Cavern here and played this, but this is okay too, I guess. This card's 2 cards. Well, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, that's a little annoying. What does this actually do? Stash counters? So... Huh. Okay. That's a little annoying. I could just play this now. There's not a lot of things their deck is going to do against it. So, also, if they ever discard this from my hand, all of my cards count towards the text box because they're not casting on a hand. So this is This would be really good for my opponents to put into play if they were interested in stealing my stuff all the time. So, do I keep the copy? I think I keep the copy of Roxanne and just put the original to the graveyard. I think that's what I'm supposed to do here. Yeah, by the time Roxanne is going, this hasn't... I feel like games are decided before I'm copying meteors. Yeah, see, this will be a spot where I really would not want them to have this. And, well, now they don't. Okay, it's only out of hand, right? This was such a good draw. I don't want my opponent to get this. I mean, there's no way I don't cast this, though. Let's be real. Yep, copy it. Kill this. I'm going to keep the copy of Roxanne. Because as long as this continuously happens, I do have enough mana to constantly make the real Roxanne show up. So, because I always get 2 mana rocks each time. Alright, it did something. I don't know if I had to kill Tiny Bones, but it did in fact do something. They can't just sweep the board. They will just die. Or, I mean, they won't die immediately, but they have to have a different long-term solution. That isn't just sweeping the board. I can actually still just cast this next turn and not even care if this is dead already or not. Huh. Yeah, opponent agrees that killing Roxanne is probably not that productive here. Discard a card, sure. Doesn't matter about that one. Alright, yeah, it's just over. Well, I found haste that didn't involve a second red source. Can I play this thing first? Yeah, okay. Do I? Wait, do I? No. No. Was this Get Lost? Could be Get Lost still. If it is, you have to leave it up again. Okay. This... Wait a minute, what does this do? Why would you take the mana rock? What are you doing? I mean, it worked out, but you wouldn't have known that. Am I crazy, or is that just, like, completely insane? Oops, I should have put... Whoop, I misclicked. I misclicked. Oops. They would have not known that would have worked, but they went for it anyways. Okay, so I can abrade this... Oh, no, I need the... Is there any reason to do this now? No. Yeah, my opponent just took a gamble, that's all. They gambled, and it is kind of paying off here. I just would never... I'm always going after the haste thing. That's just what I'm doing. Yeah, I gave him time. I guess. And I think there's still some kind of get lost or whatever. So. Exilus? No. As if I'm gonna make a move here. sure. They made a colossal mistake, I think? Yeah, they did. They made a huge mistake. They needed to wait till we entered combat. That was a huge mistake. I don't know if I needed this to happen. I had other things to do. But, yeah. They made a huge mistake there. I really like this commander. I haven't seen anyone do anything with it yet, though. Or anything crazy. So... let's play the unkillable one, as is tradition. You can take out the Iron Crag? Yes. I could have probably taken this as well. I don't know, you kind of... Having creatures here isn't the worst thing in play, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. They might think that killing one of these is irrelevant, so they won't kill or bother killing either of them. I don't need that. Draw a card and lose a life. Oh, that's a cool way to get this to keep going. I like that. And the disruption from the hand, so it's harder to interact with the turn in which you would be doing the thing. I will still kill Tiny Bones instead of this. Oh no, it's from your graveyard. Alright, so there's even less of a reason to actually kill it. Never mind. I thought you could just sack it and do it. A little bit less exciting for the combo turn. Or the whatever you're trying to do turn. With your commander. Combat. Looks like we're safe. Swing there, 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 there. No tradies for you. Let's make that a thing. Have I played a land yet? No. Well, what do you got? Oh no, I didn't tap the Herd Heirloom. Oh no! I missed 2 damage and a whole card. Uh-oh. Tragic. I feel like my opponent kind of needs a sweeper to continue playing regardless, but... well, I did miss that. There's no way to give this haste, right? Okay. Didn't draw anything. I will do this pre-combat. World Wagon. Oh, hey! That's right. I didn't cast it from hand. That's really cool. Neat. So the token has haste. I can fire the token up with these two. Let's do this, actually. Yep. They can't block, so let's just go face with it. Like, they can't block the either creature here. So, can they win with simply... how much life is that? I did it again! I didn't tap the heirloom. I got caught up with other stupid stuff. I'm sorry. Alright, I missed 2 cards this game. Very tragic. You keep doing that. I'm stupid. That's alright. That's alright. I mean, you have to swing. And I will double block. Yep. Just double block this. I don't think their commander matters. It's just a matter of what can you do with 9 life here. Alright, shift enter. I got nothing. I did not see the VV nerf. No, I did not. Interesting. I didn't expect one. Alright, yep, they're dead. Well, they actually didn't even try to scry to the bottom. They weren't even... They could have scried to the bottom, and they also could have... They could have buried treasure discovered that away. They could have drawn 2. Technically not done, but I believe you cannot pay mana. What are we doing? You can activate it multiple times? Really? Wow. Oh, they're ready for the Llanowar Elves. Nice. Which I would argue they probably had to be, so good on them. Do we have the Annabelle God Tier 2 drop? That would be not ideal. Alright. It's still a thing, I guess, but it doesn't win immediately. Yeah, they really did have to deal with that Llanowar Elves for this game to continue. I think I'm just going to play Roaming Throne, because it's extremely annoying to deal with. So, Druid. There's not another Druid in my deck, is there? I don't know why I keep naming Druid. Cat is obviously superior. It does have Ward 2. And it's a 4/4. So land get lost would be really bad, I guess. The 3-drop Druid? Oh, okay. I mean, I'm gonna block. Oh, opponent, what happened? You killed my Llanowar Elves, which, by the way, you kind of had to, because I was going to be way faster if you didn't. Doesn't hurt. It would be nice if Roxanne made the lands and made land tokens instead, but I don't think it needs to do that now, does it? Yeah, we've lost. We've beat everything we've played against except oh, include the mirror. Except Ketramos. And that last game, I did finally lose to not Ketramos. It was just simply a Llanowar Elves there. All right, so I can play. Yeah, we'll play this. We'll play it. It's really the best time to play it. So. Let's not get it countered, because I'd probably lose. I've played against this very person like 10 times. Not today. Alright, can we not have infinite counter spells, please? That would be great. And I'm not going to swing, because leaving up this is pretty good here. Or not. Let's put Cavern naming Druid. Let's play this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that worked out really nice. Okay, well, it's a nightmare to deal with anything long-term in this spot. River's Rebuke doesn't really do it anymore. I don't even care about Aetherize? Yeah. Hey, cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of good things to steal, but it's still a really cool commander. I like seeing it. I should say fortunately. I don't know why I'm rooting for my opponent. Well, I mean, it's hard not to root for this card. This is a really cool commander. Let's play... Yeah, we'll just play mana. You can have all the removal. That's fine. Let's play... Yeah, we'll plot. Because if I draw a land, we're happy. And if I don't, I can just do something else. It's okay with me. I did not. So, 2 mana dorks, or... We can do this with another chance at hitting a land. Okay. And now I can play Heaped Harvest? I should have checked if this was creature-only mana. Excuse me. It is not. We're good. Alright. Killing Outcaster is not... Doesn't matter that much, so... Blood total also doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't. I mean, unless it's fine. It can hit me twice. I don't really care. Huh. I didn't have it. Alright. If that's the case, I will block it. I thought it was just going to die to removal spell. So, let's remove it forever, because it's something I can do. No? Swing for 5. I have 2 mana, so we just crack the Heaped Harvest. Does that have haste? No. Okay. This doesn't keep a card in your hand. Huh. Suppose it still makes sense. Alright, Druid, and then cast my commander. Have 3 mana. Can play this. Does not have haste. Let's play this one into this one. And that's the one that can just block the Unstoppable Slasher. Again, I don't feel like I care about Slasher hitting me, but maybe I do. This is just a 2/3. Doesn't have like Death Touch like Yanti or anything. You okay? The slow shock to death game plan. Alright, so now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana after Wretch, and there's a pretty solid chance they hit Summon Bahamut, which might just be beatable anyways. I'm not sure what else would be super, super scary. We'll see. That's a lot of damage, yeah. Hey, it was the next card. That is so funny. Well, looks like he didn't get it. It was the next card. Oh, is this the same person I played against a second ago? It might be the same person in the mirror. World Wagon. Alright. Just like last time, I'm just ahead. Enduring Courage. Okay. There's Elena Morels. A little late to the party. A little late to the party. Let's play this. And then green. Always this. Okay. I was gonna say, yeah, you're... How many more games do I need to play? They're all the same. That's not true, but you know what I mean. So the only matchup I didn't beat was the weird mono green thing. And I took a weird line. Who knows? I probably could have won that if I didn't take the weird line. But I could still lose, I don't know. It just would have looked very, very different. But this just got in the way, and so did this. Like, I've never seen this cast. It's pretty cool with your commander if it has that kind of effect that it would care about. I actually kind of like this, but you do have to play it before you play your commander, so you're a turn slower, and that's just awkward. Because, like, what's the point of waiting a turn? Same with Lava Spur Boots and Swiftfoot Boots. Why wait a turn if you can just cast it a turn earlier and get the Meteorite, which would then help you cast it the next turn anyways? Now, both times it wouldn't have haste, but still. Haste is kind of just like seasoning. It's like flavor. You don't need it, but if you have it, it's excellent. You just have to weave it in without it impeding your ability to have cast this on a prior turn. Because most of the time you would have probably preferred to simply just cast it on a prior turn without haste, then wait a turn for haste. So it's kind of weird. Yeah, so these cards just really aren't necessary because of that. And same with this. This actually did literally nothing at all in every single game I had it. just did nothing. By the time this would do something with the meteorite tokens, the game's over. So it doesn't matter. But yeah, I just don't think those are that great. Some of the haste enablers are cool, like this one. You could probably, now, because they cost 3 and they don't cost any mana, which is the only reason I like them in the first place, is because they don't have a mana investment. So you can just tap it and target Roxanne. Right? Like, it can die and stuff, but I don't think you need them. I really don't think they're great, but I don't know. This one can out of nowhere swing for 3 on its own. You could just simply use that card to swing for 3. I don't know. Linear Elf's still the best card, right? You could probably, just to really send a message, not play any red cards. I will say, is it Leyline Weaver? Yeah, Leyline Weaver was really good. This untapping on your commander is just so satisfying. Especially if you have something like Lava Spur Boots, then you could just suddenly do it with specifically Leyline Weaver. And if you ever have those 2 cards in the same game, you know, well, there you go. Maybe you could put Boots back in. Maybe it's fine. Maybe it's okay, I don't know. The 2 mana Boots gets in the way of a 2 mana card that would ramp you, so it's a little awkward there. But this one costs 1. You can play it specifically on turn 1, or just find a window where you have a floating mana, and then something like that. Any other turn that is involving Roxanne that has excess mana, then these become really nice as a haste enabler. But still, you're just casting your commander regardless. It doesn't necessarily need haste. Sometimes you can't swing with it, although I'd say if that's the point. If you're at a point where you can't, like, swing with Roxanne, you're probably screwed if your game plan in a given game demands that you do swing with it so you, like, can win the game or whatever. So, maybe a bit awkward there, but yeah, you don't need haste. You could easily play maybe even more creatures that just attack your opponent that aren't just Roxanne, but then you might want to play a different commander altogether. The only thing I lost to was Ketramos. That was it. And when I lost to Ketramos, I lost so bad, I basically wasn't playing the game. Every single card I played in all of the Ketramos matchups were either completely ignored because they didn't matter, or just answered. There were all of the games. There was 3 or 4 of them. Every single one. There was one Ketramos player, the first one, who just played weird cards and then lost. So I don't really count that one too much, but they could have had a bad draw. I don't know. Either way, every other deck I played against was free. I didn't have to worry about anything. I just played my cards, and I won the game. Just ramping into Roxanne is really good. It's very similar to ramping into Loot, or actually, I don't even know what else it's. What are other like really? I haven't really seen the green O'Hare in Standard, but you could sort of treat this like the same thing, except instead of the shock token, you have like. Now that's different enough. This is different enough to not consider it the same thing, really, in the same universe. Yeah, maybe Roxanne is kind of doing its own thing, because it doesn't really need other creatures. You could probably play a deck with only Roxanne as the only creature. You could probably try that, but a lot of the mana ramp is inside creatures. If you could just play a bunch of rampant growths instead, you probably should, because they can't get killed, and then you could play this without worrying about it, and you're better against board wipes and whatnot, I suppose. It does spearhead all your opponent's removal into Roxanne, but it's going to do that anyways. So, yeah, Roxanne's kind of doing its own thing. It is. You probably would be better off just ramping into this instead of playing more efficient 3 and 4 mana beat down creatures that lead into Roxanne. You just play more Roxannes as the efficient beaters. Your efficient beaters are essentially ways to get this into play faster as your curved out efficient beater. Mossborn Hydra was another card that probably could have just not been in here. It is a must answer threat, but I don't amass critical lands like I do with other green kind of decks. Sort of. Same with Ouroboros. is a must-answer threat, but you're trying to just apply so much pressure here and reoccurring pressure that you don't really need to play Ouroboros to do that, because again, any must-answer threat that you can think of is probably the second or third or fourth time you've cast this in a game. That is the quote-unquote must-answer threat of the game, is this over and over, which kind of makes it feel like a go tall strategy, but you don't really go too tall. It is just a 4/3. But yeah, it doesn't, at least in Standard here, it doesn't have a lot of bad matchups at all. The mono green one that I lost, again, if I played this instead of this, because, not that. Where is it? Oh, I took it out. You know, the 5-mana arachnid thing. If I just played this instead on 5, I was probably just fine, but I waited a turn to play the enchantment that requires, you know, a turn off to not cast Roxanne. So it's just Roxanne. You know, it does the thing. You don't have to put too much effort. This deck, I put it together very quickly, right? A testament to how basically one-dimensional it is. That dimension is very scary and very good, but it is kind of one-dimensional, you know? It can't be answered with just one removal spell a turn, and it can't be answered with a sweeper every turn. You're eventually going to Roxanne your opponent to death. They have to do something else. If they River's Rebuke all the mana dorks, or mana rocks, then you're maybe just can't cast it again, I guess. But I didn't see any River's Rebukes, actually. The game would have to... your opponent would have to survive that long. It's not like they just suddenly have 6 mana and can do it, but... Alright, yep, that's that. It's Roxanne. We've probably all seen it. You've probably seen it if you play Standard Brawl. Historic Brawl, I don't think you can play against it with every single commander. I think it's a little bit higher up there. Although that could be different now. I'm not sure. Although it is 1 into 3 into 5 in Historic. That's, you know, I always say it. I'll say it here again. Playing the 1 ramp into the 3, mana ramp into the 5 is the best thing you can possibly do. And Roxanne is probably going to do that every single game in Historic Brawl at this point, especially with like Chrome Mox and whatnot. So I would just anticipate... It's actually the opposite of Standard. There's just no 2s at all. 0 2s. All 1s, all 3s. Maybe no 5s, except certain things like these. These might make an exception, actually. I'm not sure. And then some of these. I've only played this twice in Historic. And they were both, I think, pretty different looking lists. One was a year ago, and then another was like half a year ago. But alright, that's it. That's Roxanne. Let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. You like my deck choices? Well, thank you. It's good to have recognition for the first time in 8 years. How long have I been streaming? No, it's been 9 years now. Jeez. What have I done? Oh my goodness.